Hey guys, JH. Welcome to practice tee. And it's a frigid practice tee today. Just 40 km/h winds, super cold, coming off the inland here. Just really cold. And we're near the ocean here, so it shouldn't be cold, but it is. Okay guys, just want to carry on a little bit from the last videos I put up about the pivot, and we'll probably term this video Perfecting the Pivot, or Pivot Perfection. What I alluded to in the other video about the lead shoulder moving this way in the backswing, what's really important in conjunction with that is to have that trail side really supported and stabilized. By that I mean that it really can't go anywhere. It can't go that way. That trail leg can turn that way, can go that way, the butt can go that way. The pressure is then from the inside of the groins down to the inside of the trail ankle. That's where the pressure should be. Should be there. It should look a little bit like that. Yeah. That's Hogan and Mac O'Grady and Sam Snead. Now for anybody that's just done a turn, which I said or alluded to in the other video, if you've just been a turner or a roller in the backswing and you just roll into the backswing, you'll roll into that trail leg and invariably roll onto the outside of that trail's, what I call stabilizing pole. That's the stabilizing pole for the backswing. And if you just roll into the backswing, just roll your shoulders across and roll into it, you get no stabilizing effect. You'll actually let the weight move into the outside of the trail leg, whereas the pressure and the stabilizing and the positioning has to be on the inside. So it's basically got to be, it's got to look a little bit like this. Yeah. And the lead knee will go that way, guys. It'll go out towards the ball, but just behind the ball as an angle. Yeah. Now the the other side of the pivot, of course, is the downswing and the action of the downswing. Now really guys, all the downswing is a reverse of the backswing. By that I mean the lead leg moves this way and moves in there, trail leg buttresses, and we turn, and the weight tangentially moves in that direction there. There it is there. On the downswing it's just the opposite, guys. The lead leg will start to buttress up here. The weight will move into the outside of the lead leg here, and that trail leg will start to release and fire itself out towards the golf ball, whereas the lead knee fired itself out towards the golf ball on the backswing. So all we're doing is reversing the mechanics and the geometry of the backswing pivot. Backswing pivot is that lead knee here, stabilizing here. Downswing is stabilizing lead leg, firing the trail leg coming out, lead leg coming back here, all the weight on the outside here. Now the other thing, guys, in the downswing, because we're reversing the shoulder, the lead shoulder, the point of the lead shoulder is reversing, going this way in the downswing. The trail shoulder should be going downwards and outwards towards the golf ball. In the downswing, it should be going here. Trail shoulder should be going straight downwards here and then out towards the golf ball. And guys, you can, if it goes vertically down, it'll go vertically down, and then by the time you get to the golf ball, it'll be turning for the release. But it won't be turning early. And it won't matter if it's turning early, if it's coming from a low base into out. It won't matter. You won't be getting, when people get over the top of the ball with that trail side, they get over it high. The trail shoulder gets over high. But if you get the trail shoulder going down low, it can actually move out a little bit and the club is still tracking into out. It's only when the shoulder gets high and out that the club will track out to in. Now you need to probably play this back a couple of times to get the intricate details of what I just said. And I hope you can hear it all with the wind on the microphone. So, from the top of the downswing, the trail shoulder basically goes straight down, guys. It goes straight down and then that way. It moves straight down and then that way. Now the more you drive the trail shoulder down, clearly the more the lead shoulder will come up. Of course, both shoulders are connected by the shoulder girdle. The more that goes down, the more that'll go up. The more that goes out, the more that'll go down. And that's why the people that come over the golf ball from the top of the swing, when they do that, right shoulder gets high, lead shoulder gets low. When you get the trail shoulder as low as you can in the downswing, the lead shoulder will get up as high as it can. Now, if it's high, guys, the knock-on effect is, if the higher that lead shoulder is, look, when I bring the lead shoulder up, look what happens to the shaft. It drops backwards and downwards. It doesn't get up and outwards. It drops downwards and then outwards because the lead shoulder is going up. But you can do it both ways. You can pull your lead shoulder up if you're someone that is really lead side dominant and you can get that feel into that shoulder quadrant. You can pull that up as quick as you like. Or you can drive your trail shoulder down, because invariably the trail shoulder is the dominant power source in the shoulders, and so is the trail arm and all the whole trail side. It's usually the strong side. So it's probably easier for most people to drive the dominant side down rather than pull the lead side up. Okay, now the other thing which we touched on the other day on those couple of videos that I did, is that in conjunction with all of that, that lead arm has got to be turning this way, guys. It's almost as if you had if the top of the upper arm, the humerus bone up here and the upper arm, it's almost as if it was connected into the shoulder with a coil thread, and we're trying to thread that screw-in portion. We're trying to screw it into the shoulder joint, and that is, we're going to turn it this way. Now, the knock-on effect of that, guys, is that if I do turn that lead arm this way, look what happens to that lead shoulder. It closes and it goes up. If I fire the lead arm that way, through impact, or coming into impact, sorry, complete opposite of what I was talking about. We need to have the lead arm moving this way. When we move it this way, all the pressure and the musculature works to push the lead shoulder up, here, like that. If I rotate it that way, it fires the lead shoulder over and down. We don't want that. We want it moving upwards, and closed. It needs to sort of look like that. See, that's the best position you can be in at impact, guys, is a high lead shoulder and the shoulder closed, because the club's coming from in to out. And depending on where the club face is, if the club face is a little bit closed and you're into out, you'll get a little push draw. If it's open, you'll just get a little push, but you'll never get a drag or a pull. You just won't get that. So there are aspects that are intricate, and as I say, you may have to look at this video a number of times and just key in on the specifics that I've mentioned. Okay, so the basic perfecting the pivot, we want to stabilise the trail side, which is there. Lead side comes out, lead shoulders down. Here we are here. We're not on our lead side, guys. I feel, if I had a plumb bob, the pressure point of the weight distribution would be there. It wouldn't be there. It would be if my knee went there. If I did that, all my weight's over there, but I'm not doing that. My lead knee's going there. There. It's pushing in behind the ball. So they're the intricate little facets of the pivot, or in perfecting the pivot. And as I said on the other tapes, the other videos the other day, just get a short iron and just do some little half shots or quarter shots so you get the feeling of the positioning and the stabilisation in the backswing. Yeah, just do a couple of those. See, if I turn my arm that way, guys, it's amazing how the face of the club stays really square to the line and just a bit after impact. I actually do that in my putting stroke. I turn my lead arm that way so that so the toe is always square to a little bit open. So I never miss putts left ever. If anything, I'm just a little push. Right, but I know that, so I can use the whole hole when I putt. And I'll mention that if we can do a putting video today on that other methodology that I've got in the putting. If I can get the putting green free, I'll do that video. Because it's quite revolutionary, this new process I've got for putting, guys. Okay, well, that's an overview of what I call perfecting the pivot. Now there's a lot of work in it for people that have just had a rolling backswing where they just roll in here. See, look where that lead knee's going there. It's just going here. There's no weight on the outside. And I've lost my centralisation of the golf swing. That was a great thing about Hogan and Snead. They were so central. They set up central and they never moved from that centralised position in the backswing. They were there. That's where they were. They didn't roll off that central position. They never rolled in here, got over behind it. They stayed in that centralised position. Okay guys, that's just a little bit of quite complicated input, but just have a look at it and play the video again and look at the points, and then go and have a look at yourself in the mirror and just look what you're doing in your swing. Just go through it slowly. Get into that pivot in the backswing, then just drive that trail shoulder straight down. Here. The more I turn that lead arm there, the more that lead shoulder is going to come up. It's a great action for pitching the ball, guys. When you've got a little 25, 35 yard little pitch shots, that's the way to get it in there really straight and some grab on the ball, because you're coming in with a really square club face and no glancing blow. It's a real nice slapping, trapping action. Okay guys, I'll see what the weather's like and what the sun's like, and I might hit a few shots down range here, and we'll just have a talk about that pivot from a down range perspective. I'm going to try and get on the practice tee a little bit more regularly. It's been difficult in the last few months for me. for some personal reasons, but I'm trying to get back out here, and the weather's been abysmal, absolutely terrible. The golf course is still, you know, really not fully in play yet because it took such a battering. This whole place was underwater, guys. This was like a metre underwater here. Just couldn't see it. It looked like an inland sea. So there's been a lot of weather issues and a lot of personal issues that have kept me away. But I've got a lot of content that I'm hoping to get on video in the course of the next few weeks. I've got a lot of diarised information that I've put together while I haven't been down here. So there's a lot of stuff that we can add to our golf swings and utilise to what I think great effect. Okay guys, I'll see what the weather's like, and if it's any good we might just hit a few shots down here, and I'll talk about the pivot from the point of view of going down in that direction and you being able to see the transfer and the trail shoulder if the sun's okay.